A community touched by darkness, illuminating one another's spirits with candlelight. UVA students and faith leaders held vigils last night in Charlottesville, remembering the 3 UVA football players shot and killed Sunday night.
We also learned 2 people were hurt. One will undergo surgery today. The suspect, Christopher Jones Jr., will be arraigned over video in Henrico County. That's where police caught up with him just before noon yesterday. And our hearts are with the University of Virginia community today. I'm Ashley Smith.
I'm Dan Kennedy. Our team is hard at work to help make some sort of sense of this tragedy. Casey Baylor has reaction from players and teammates, but first, we begin with troubling new information about the suspect. Alex Little-Hales is covering that part of the story live from Charlottesville. Alex.
Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Ashley. You mentioned the big update to this story. The manhunt for UVA student Christopher Jones is now over. He faces 3 counts of second-degree murder as well as firearms charges. Again, in that alleged shooting 5 people. 3 of those, the ones who died, are all UVA football players. So the focus now turns into the details of Sunday evening, what happened then and what happens moving forward for Jones. Again, here's some of the new information that we learned just within the last day. Authorities say Jones shot into a crowded bus of about 25 UVA students. We remember seeing that bus at the heart of the investigative scene at the center of UVA's grounds yesterday. Again, those students were coming back from a play in Washington, D.C. Now, authorities had also pointed out that there were previous comments made by Jones that had released some red flags within the community with the school's threat assessment team based on comments that he'd made about gun possession and gun ownership this academic year. Now, we are also learning now there was possibly a separate investigation into Jones and a connection to alleged hazing.
Because he was involved in a hazing investigation of some sort. I don't know the facts and circumstances of that investigation. I know that it was eventually closed due to witnesses that would not cooperate with the process. But through the course of the threat assessment team's investigation, we learned of a prior criminal incident involving a concealed weapon violation that occurred outside the city of Charlottesville in February of 2021.
So classes here at UVA are canceled for the day as they were yesterday, and as you mentioned, Jones faces an arraignment hearing in Henrico County a little later today. In Charlottesville, I'm Alex Little-Hales for 13 News Now.
Okay, thank you, Alex. And as he just mentioned, investigators told us yesterday the shooting happened inside a charter bus Sunday night. That bus was towed away from the scene yesterday afternoon. You just saw that bullet hole clearly visible in the side window. And again, like Alex mentioned, the bus was bringing a group of students back from a field trip to see a play in Washington, D.C.
The UVA community and the whole nation is remembering the 3 victims who lost their lives Sunday night. And Casey Baylor joins us to share more on these bright young men.
Dan, many describe the players as magnetic people. Devin Chandler was a wide receiver on the football team, a second-year student at the university. He transferred to UVA from the University of Wisconsin last year, and many of his friends call him an unbelievably nice person who always wore a smile. Deshaun Perry, a 4th-year student and linebacker from Miami, Florida. His teammates described him on social media as a gentle giant. They say he embodied resilience and perseverance. And Lavelle Tyler Davis, a 3rd-year student, was a star wide receiver from Ridgeville, South Carolina, known for his love of his family and friends. Now, many say he had a chance at going to the NFL draft. Their losses hit home for many at UVA, including their teammates.
I don't know what to say right now. I just want to say there was 3 young, great men, you know, on the way to become great.
UVA professor Dr. Jack Hamilton also shared his sentiments. He says he taught both Chandler and Davis. Dr. Hamilton said they both had a bright future ahead of them and says it was difficult to email his class about their passing. Dan, Ashley.
Okay, thank you, Casey. As we move to this now, UVA athletics and the football program shared their heartache on social media last night, posting a statement from Virginia head football coach Tony Elliott. He said, quote, "They touched us, inspired us, and worked incredibly hard as representatives of our program, university, and community."
And students across the grounds are honoring the lives lost as well. Several fraternity houses raised Seville Strong banners high with the victims' jersey numbers 1, 15, and 41 displayed for all to see. Students say they know how important it is to stand together.
All felt like we needed to come together and try to support the community.
There are some expectations where everybody should feel safe and stuff like that, and so it was kind of scary, just the fact that everybody's feeling the same thing, and this impacted not just me but everybody else.
UVA's President Jim Ryan says he hopes students can reflect together as the two surviving victims start their recovery process.